to language this. I have a personal, it's not really a dilemma. I have brought forth a situation where I feel spiritually drawn to be here. Here meaning on this island.
Right.
And here in this room.
Okay.
And I felt this last year. I came for what I thought would be a vacation and left feeling as if I was being pulled apart from the love of my life. Set an intention to come back a year later and be here at least a month to sort of get a hit or a feel, is this just a mind game or is this real for me? So I've been here now over a month and holding this one here because we came together and am going back. I have a life, I have a job, I have a business, I have a partner of 7 years, I want to be here. I'm praying on it, I'm meditating on it, I'm doing all that, and I'm really in my head about it. So I'm just putting that out for anything that you want to give back, or that might, I mean, I get, follow your dreams and do what you're guided and da-da-da, and then there's the first level, the real world of...
Well, okay. You see, that's an interesting assumption that you make there. You're talking about wanting to be here on this island, and feeling a spiritual draw to it, and yet there's the real world in which you have to work and do all these kinds of things. First of all, from Hawaiian tradition, I bring out the idea that they never made a distinction between spiritual and material. Between the inner and the outer worlds, yes, they made a distinction, but not as separate things, but as things that flowed into each other. An external example of the inner world, the same word is used for both, and it's called po. And they aren't separate, they're different. Like male and female, they're not separate. And they flow into each other. And the things that we do in the daylight world affect what happens in the night world. And the things that we do in the night world, according to Hawaiian tradition, create what happens out here in this world. But there's a feedback, see? And it flows into each other, and they're not separate things. This is not fantasy land contrasted to the real world where you have to work. What you've done is made a division here. And you can do that if you like, but when you make a division like that, you're using some assumptions for this place and some assumptions for that place. You can do that, or you don't have to. This is a real place too. Now, as long we have this one third principle that says energy flows where attention goes. Focus on what you want and not on what you don't want. If you really, for instance, would want to move here, then you focus on both the desire and possible ways and means of doing that. That doesn't mean you suddenly give up everything and plop yourself down here hoping it'll all turn out. That's a rough way to do it. Okay? Sometimes it works. A lot of people here have done that. Okay? But in order to have it work, you got to do that with full faith. See? If you're still holding ideas of, how am I going to do it? Is this going to work? I mean, my real job's back there. I don't know. That's what's going to make it rough. See? When you have that kind of situation, hold on to what you want. Let the ideas and the inspirations flow through. Keep the interest. Keep reading the magazines and articles about Hawaii. I mean, put pictures up all over the place. Do what you have to do as long as you have to do it. Don't resist what you're doing at home, but treat it as temporary. Do the best job you can, because that skill carries over to whatever you do, but treat it as a temporary thing. Knowing that, if this is what you want, knowing that this is where you're going to be.